Hail, travelers! With Ashes of Creation's Steam Early Access launch right around the corner, I wanted to warn players against making some common mistakes, which I have seen happen during previous fresh starts. Alright, so the first mistake is not finding a guild or community. Ashes of Creation is a traditional style MMO, and not playing with a group can greatly limit what you can accomplish in the game. While you can play solo, you will miss out on some of the most complete gameplay loops. For instance, you won't be able to participate in guild wars. You also will not be able to farm endgame bosses for drops. You will struggle to complete caravan runs, and solo players are easy targets. I want to make it convenient for you to find an Ashes of Creation community, so here are some of the best discords which will help you find that special place. First is the Ashes of Creation official Discord. There is a recruitment forum and chat channels for players. Next are the community ran discords. Many of these have guild advertisement areas and ways to meet other players. Each community has their own theme and purpose. I would check them all out to find the best home. Lastly, we have server-specific community ran discords for each server. These are great places to locate community help once you are on a specific server, or to check out the community in advance. The second mistake I see players making each phase is not getting questing and mayor help. There are quests in Ashes of Creation, and typically quest markers will guide you to some extent, but you may become stuck at some point. I recommend the Questing Codex Discord for quest-related help. Interested in becoming a mayor? Well, you may want to rethink that, or at least know what you're getting yourself into. Mayors have lots of power to direct the direction of their settlement. You can quickly find yourself with a full-time job and getting messaged on Discord 24/7, not to mention all the shadow politics and node wars to deal with. And on top of that, probably some angry citizens. If you want to learn more about becoming a mayor, check out Mayor 101 Discord for help navigating those waters. The third mistake is not taking the time to set up your game settings. Settings matter in Ashes of Creation. The most overlooked settings are the PvP settings. There are a variety of settings that affect how your abilities and actions will affect other players in the open world. If you do not watch and know these closely, you'll be in for a rough time because you will accidentally get flagged. Other players can take advantage of your lack of knowledge and will get you accidentally flagged for PvP, and then they will ambush and kill you. Did I mention they will loot all your stuff as well and then disappear before you get back to your body? There are a ton of settings in this game, and you can even move and resize your UI around. Take some time to get this all set up to your preference, as it will save you loads of time in the future. The fourth mistake I see players make every phase is class selection and gear. All classes are decent in Ashes of Creation, and you really can't go wrong. There are a few classes that are weaker, but they are all viable and likely going to be rebalanced often, so I would not get too hung up on what the meta is. What is important is to pick a class that you enjoy and that plays the role you want in Ashes of Creation. For instance, if you want to heal, you're pretty much going to need to pick the Cleric. Bard and Summoner can off-heal, but they are less effective in just healing as they bring other support benefits to the table. If you want a tank, you pick the tank. Not every class can play every role, and even if they can substitute in, they are weaker than the class who has that primary role. Gear is power in Ashes of Creation. Gear matters, and you won't gain much power from just leveling. Not getting gear can make your life hell in harder content, or even make it impossible. Make sure you learn where your class's gear drops come from and go out and farm them. The Ashes Codex is a data mining site. The website will help you find where drops come from, not to mention it can save you hours in traveling time with its mapping tools. These maps show you where mobs and gatherables spawn, including the type and levels. The fifth mistake that players make is not gathering, because there are only a few ways to make gold. First is to vendor items or resources. Second is to vendor glint. Third is to use glint to make caravan and crate runs between the nodes. The fourth is to gather valuable resources and sell those to other players. Gathering still remains the fastest and safest way to make gold in Ashes of Creation. Caravans and crates can be lucrative, but often you will encounter PvP during those expeditions. Crates are less risky, but the traveling is slow. So you need to determine what is the best reward versus risk for your playstyle. A last mistake that new players make is not understanding server crashes and the queuing system for Ashes of Creation. Ashes of Creation is in an alpha development, and it will have some crashes. For the first week, expect server crashes and long queue times. But if you're smart, you can avoid these. If you hit your page up on your keyboard, you'll be able to see what server worker you are on. As you travel, you can see this change as you move to different server workers. The queue is done per server worker, and there is an overall world queue as well. The world queue you almost never see, so all that matters is what server worker you are on. So make sure when you log off, you move to a server worker that is likely not going to be popular. For example, don't log off in a main city. On the first few days, this will apply to the first few server workers that you encounter when creating a character. When you create a character, take a note of the first few server worker numbers that you encounter on your journey. You do not want to log off on those because when you return, you will likely be in a queue. Also, pay attention to global chat. It will be moving fast and gets spammed often, which is annoying. However, it can alert you to players who are complaining about server queues and crashing at their location. Obviously, avoid those areas. I hope this information was helpful. In the past several launch days that we have had, these are the biggest mistakes I see new players make. Let me know in the comments which starting zone you plan to go to. I am torn between the Anvils and the Riverlands. I know the Riverlands will be more complete, but it also will be busier. Please remember to like and subscribe, it helps the channel out. Thanks for watching.